We're listening to Thank Me for My Cervix, a podcast where we talk about all things mental health with a focus in the veteran and the military community. I'm your host, Marine Corps veteran Shawna Marie, and we're trying out some new equipment today, so I'm hoping this is working. As soon as someone hops on, let me know how this sounds. So I'm super excited for that. As always, you can listen to every episode live on Instagram, or you can watch the reruns on YouTube and the audio on Spotify. We do have shirts. As a reminder, I'm wearing one. I cut into a low crop. It's super cute, but I'm kind of cold, so I'm wearing my hoodie. And we also have an Amazon shop, so you'll see a category for podcasting equipment and a bunch of things there, so be sure to check that out. And as always, we are scheduling guests. If you think you have something you could bring to the podcast, slide into my DMs and we'll get you set up. I'm super excited for today's guests. They are a power duo, husband and wife. They have their own podcast, and we'll be talking about all things botanicals and fitness. So I'm going to go ahead. I saw that they were requested to join. We'll get them on.
Yay! Hi guys, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Hear us? Good. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to me today. I'm so excited to learn about what you guys have to offer.
Yeah, we're really excited. Thank you for having us on your show. We're excited.
I'm super excited. So let's start with a background on both of you, like how you guys grew up, how you met, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, so first of all, like I do want to say, excited to be on the podcast because, so we'll get into it a little bit, but I'm active in the military myself. So seeing other podcasts out there that like have to do with mental health with like military first responders, is awesome. Especially like kind of like what we want to talk about. We're trying to hit more of a military first responder community. So we appreciate you bringing us on today, especially on a Sunday. So thanks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so stoked when anyone reaches out to me, especially when they have such awesome things to offer like you guys do. This is great. This is exactly why I had that. So you guys reaching out to me like that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so stoked. So thank you. Seriously.
Of course. So yeah, so we met when, it's always a funny story because we met for the first time when we were in like the third, fourth grade. We were in class together. And we didn't hang out after that. We went to different school districts, and then we re-met in college. And it was like, oh, I remember you. And then we just kind of started dating in college. And Charles did ROTC in college. So we knew that was going to be his lifestyle, military. And he asked if that was something that I thought I could handle. And I was like, I think so. Let's do it. And, we got married. And then yeah, so Charles was always into fitness. I was not. And then we had our kids, and I got super, he taught me how to, lift weights and strength train, and then I became a personal trainer. So that's kind of what I do, and that's just like our lifestyle. So we decided we wanted to start a podcast and just kind of talk about Kava, botanicals, and just living that sort of fitness-oriented, healthy lifestyle. So yeah.
I have so many questions. Okay, wait. So hold on. I thought of them as you were talking. I was like, note. So you're a personal trainer? Do you train online or do you train in person?
Yeah. So I used to train in person. I started my career at a big box gym, LA Fitness, just to get experience. Then I started my own business and would train people in person at my home or their home. I taught PE as well. And then we moved, as the military does. So I thought of quitting, and then Charles actually found this company called Copilot. So I'm a virtual trainer through Copilot, and I love it. So it's an app, but it's definitely more than an app. It's like you run your workout through the app that I create for you, but then you also have like daily communication with me. So there's like a messenger system, and we can contact each other every day, talk about nutrition, and just kind of be that support and accountability for you in all areas of life, basically. So yeah.
Oh, I really love that. So was there anything particular that got you into fitness? Like, did you struggle with weight? Did you feel like you just weren't at your peak? What kind of made you initially just be like, you know what, I want fitness in my life?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, honestly, Charles, because
Yeah.
he, for years, would like bug me, and I'm like, nah, I support you, you do you, but no, thank you. But then we had our first daughter,
Yeah.
and he was on his first deployment, and really, I joined a gym just to have that like alone time, and for the kids' care. And then I was like, is it okay if I join Gold's Gym? He's
It's
like,
like, go for it.
yeah, so then he came back and started training me, and my journey has always been one of growth. So I started my fitness journey at like 96 pounds. So a lot of people, theirs is trying to lose that fat and trying to lose that weight. But for me, it was just trying to gain weight. And I couldn't keep weight on until I started lifting weights and eating right. And Charles really helped train me and guide me, and then I fell in love with it. It changed my body and my mind, and that's when I decided I wanted to help others do the same.
Absolutely. People don't realize that just because someone is like skinny or thin, that they don't have to work super hard and have that structure still to maintain a healthy, or what we would consider an ideal weight. Being 96 pounds, if you're, yeah, that's great. But to be super healthy, it does take discipline with training your body and eating properly to gain a healthy weight. And I like that you can bring that aspect, because I was the opposite, where I struggle with keeping the weight off, and that's just because even no matter how active I am, it's my discipline. It is, and then I can hold myself accountable and admit that I'm not as structured as I should be. And as long as I think you can look into yourself, that's great. So I love that. So let's talk a little bit about the botanicals. I know nothing about this. So you guys can just start from the scratch, like how you found it, and then go from there.
Yeah, so I guess I'll dive into it a little bit. So being military, everyone who's out there military knows how big drinking is in the military. So I come from the aviation community in the Air Force, where literally like in our squadrons we have bars.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
yes, like you go out of your office, and they're called heritage rooms, but they're full up bars. So within every squadron in the flying communities, you have bars. So I've, like in college, I drank a little bit and stuff too, but even wasn't that big into it. I've always been interested in the more plant-based options. Wink, wink. But obviously, for those active duty, or for those like, law enforcement, first responders, that's not always an option, right? Because
Almost
of drug
never.
test stuff.
Almost
Yeah.
never.
But as I got more to my fitness journey, and then as we kind of, just kind of grew with each other as far as like, finding a healthier lifestyle, drinking just like kind of went away. But we were always like, well, there's got to be other stuff out there that we can, use that's not alcohol, to still kind of give us like, a relaxation, headspace change kind of thing, without having
Euphoric of some sort to like happiness. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
without having resort to like cannabis or things that are, illicit drugs.
That kind of numb you sometimes. You know what I mean? Like drugs kind
But
of.
alcohol, I mean, we'll get into that, especially how it kind of pertains to the communities. But
I did want to ask you too. Did you get into fitness? I'm sorry for cutting you off. Did you, Charles, correct?
Yeah.
Did you get into fitness because of the military, or has fitness just been your whole life?
No, I've always been into it. And actually, surprisingly, like going into the military, it was shocking to me how many people. And I'm Air Force too, so like, it's a different culture, but it was more of a culture shock to me how unhealthy people were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet, because a lot of times I hear like people who were very active before going to boot camp and stuff, they end up like losing weight because they can't keep up with the lifestyles that they were doing to be the healthy weight that they were prior.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like even the military does not teach even still how to be healthy.
No.
Yeah.
And absolutely not.
And
So.
and just because I work with some active duty members as well, like I train active duty members and help them, prepare them for their PT test. And like, I'll be honest, Air Force has like the least intense PT test of them all.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I mean, and
So
the Marine's supposed to have the hardest. But I mean, I still saw it. I still see the unhealthy in the Marine Corps too. You know, I'm sure we still, even though our standards were harder, that you still would see the various amount of people who still could or could not do it, and it's alarming.
But like seeing that, like coming in, that was a big culture shock to me. Just like the lack of for just holistic wellness, right? So people not eating right, people drinking, a lot of obviously medications, especially like once you start going to deployments, you start going down range. You know, medications like they come out more like the Ambiens, the Go pills, all that kind of stuff. And then kind of as I progressed in my career, you know, seeing more and more kind of the cycle, right? People constantly going and coming back, right? Not taking care of their fitness. And after, you know, such period of times being around people, you see mental health issues start coming up. And a lot of people will use, you know, alcohol, or they'll be prescribed SSRIs, or they'll be afraid to go to mental health, right? Because it has a lot of implications with security clearances.
Or negative pros and cons.
Yeah, because they
would
be afraid that they would, you know, couldn't fly, so they just wouldn't say anything.
Oh yeah, and a lot of times the healthcare in the Marines won't even cover it. A lot of people will pay out of pocket too to be hiding it, and I hate that.
And so I was always kind of looking for something like, all right, well, like what's something I don't want to drink? What's some ways that we can still relax and that might have, you know, therapeutic benefits also? And so we came upon Kava, started doing a lot of research on Kava, and that's spelled Kava. Now, Kava has been used for centuries in the Pacific Islands, Polynesia, in their culture. And it's a plant, and what you do is you take the root and you strain it in water. And the leaders of the communities, they used to drink it before going to meetings, because what it does is it calms you down. And it opens you up. So fast forward to it being used here in the United States. The past 10 years, there's been a explosive growth of what's called Kava bars. Now, Kava bars, they're just that. They sell Kava, but it's like a bar, but it's a sober bar. So you go there and you drink Kava. They also have a plant called kratom you'll see a lot. Now, kratom is more of an opioid alternative. So it's a pain relieving plant. Could give you energy, euphoria. Kava and kratom are completely different plants, but you'll see them both being served in Kava bars. Now, Kava is sold as a dietary supplement in the United States. At a bar, Kava bar, it's sold as a food supplement. So those out there listening who are military, first responders, it's no different than consuming like protein powder, right? As far as legalities go.
Yeah, or coffee, you know. Yeah.
It does not show up on the drug test. Now, kratom, that's something where it's a little sketchy. Like military, the DoD currently right now says you cannot consume it, and it does not show up on the drug test. Take that as you will. But Kava, so why would you drink Kava? Really, everyone now is drinking Kava as an alcohol replacement. Once we started drinking Kava, there's zero reason to drink alcohol. So first of all, no hangover, very minimal effects, and it's actually being studied for a lot of its therapeutic health benefits, right?
And so, like one of the big reasons we got into Kava also is, you know, we're parents, so your kids don't care what you did last night. They're still going to be up early in the morning, and if you were drinking, like that sucks. Like that is really, And so that was a huge thing, is we wanted something that we could wind down at the end of the day and also still be present for our kids. And just Kava really provides us that great alternative to still get those effects, to feel good, relax, but still not be inebriated, and still be able to hang out with our kids, remember, talk to them, and it's hard to explain, but it just makes you feel more present with what you're doing, and it like makes you feel more communicative and want to talk. And it was just, it's amazing.
I want to try it so bad.
So some of the science behind it is what Kava does in your brain. So it hits your GABA receptors, which the same way that alcohol does. So it gives you feeling, so it pulls down your anxiety. Helps you feel a little bit more like, like how you said, kind of social lubrication, a little bit more talkative, relaxed. But the thing is alcohol is destructive, right? It ruins your sleep. It's horrible for your sleep.
Alcohol sucks.
Yeah.
Like alcohol, there's nothing good about alcohol, yet it's so glorified. And it's almost like people try to make it like comical, like a joke, like it's cool to drink alcohol. But then then marijuana is like such a bad thing. And I'm just like, do you know what alcohol, like, what?
Yeah.
I know.
It does not make sense to me.
And like what I tell my clients too is because my clients are like, oh, it's fine, it's low calories, I just had vodka, like it's okay. And I'm like, it's not the calories with alcohol that's the problem. It destroys your metabolism. And I tell them, I say, your body sees alcohol as a poison. So when that alcohol goes in your body's like, hold up, there's something in here. It stops metabolizing everything else until it can get that poison and that toxin out of your body. And so if you're drinking alcohol every day, there's a reason it's called a beer belly. It's because when you are drinking alcohol every day, you are really screwing up your metabolism, and it takes a while to, heal your body from that.
Just how you feel after drinking should kind of be that sign that's like, this is not good for us, because that's the only thing that makes you feel that way after doing that.
And
I can think of specific things. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Marine Corps, like the Marine Corps ball specifically, it's like, I remember even super higher ups, like the sergeant majors, all of them, everyone would just get trashed, like trashed, and make fools of themselves. And so many people would do such stupid stuff. And I'm like, why is this? And it was like a normal thing that was just, that's fine. And it's like, this is not normal. This is not healthy. This is not good.
It's socially acceptable. And like, especially from like the military culture and background, like a part of me, like it is what it is, man. Like people are going to drink alcohol. I'm like, I get it.
You can't stop it.
But like we're trying to, because we've been very much like in the Kava space, and that's what a lot of our following is. We talk to Kava bars, vendors, everyone in the space. So everyone in this space knows like what Kava is.
Yeah, they're already a big fan of it. Absolutely. I'm seriously, I want to try it now. Like I'm
Me too.
Yeah.
But we're trying to, kind of like reach out to different
word out.
Because I look at things like military, first responders, like, instead of coming home and having the beer or alcohol, which is just going to fuck you up, like there's other options out there, and there's legal options.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you can still feel good, get you in a different headspace, but it's not going to lead you down the path that alcohol or, unfortunately, even some people, go into like, pain medications.
Yes, hard drugs.
So.
And so we started.
That there is like a hangover feeling at all?
No. And it helps with sleep also. So there's different types. So there's some that are called more heavy. And I always say it makes your eyelids heavy. And they're better like for sleep, and it can help with sleep. And then there's ones that are more like daytime, like heady, more like a body, and it's going to make you sort of more euphoric and more like excited. So there are like different types and different cultivars for different, times of the day. But yeah, there's no hangover. You might get super sleepy, but you're gonna feel good. The only downside.
A lot of weed. I smoke a lot though.
Yeah.
But again, legal stuff.
Like what's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna take like a really good nap, like maybe you'll eat a lot. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
I love that. But that's awesome.
People always say, well, what's the catch with the kava? And the only catch is it doesn't necessarily taste good. Like the actual kava itself, you drink it for the feeling. You're not drinking it for the taste. Alcohol people drink for the taste. Actual like the kava, when you you grind it up and you do the actual ground, you can do extracts and make them taste good. But the actual kava, people call it dirt water, like mud water. It very much tastes very earthy. It's not the best tasting, but the whole idea is you just chug it and enjoy the effects of how it feels.
I don't think alcohol tastes good. I mean, in general.
I'm with you on that. I don't like the taste of it.
No. So.
I know there's like, you know, like wine snobs who are like sitting there with like I'm like, dude, wine tastes like shit, man. I don't understand.
I am so hypocritical because I just got a job as a bartender at the country club, and I'm trying to like learn all these wines and stuff.
Oh.
But we had a wine tasting, and all of them tasted so bad. And she was like, "Yeah, this one tastes like earth," and I'm like, "It tastes just bad."
Yeah.
And then it's gonna make me feel like crap tomorrow. So I'm gonna.
True.
And people, I remember, like, I used to drink a little bit. I mean, you know, I had some times when I was younger where I drank a lot, and I would always try and like get into wine, and people would be like, "What kind of wine do you like?" I'm like, "It all tastes the same to me. Like, I don't know how you can tell the difference."
Yeah, I don't.
There's like,
I'm gonna drink it really fast regardless.
Yeah.
but so I was gonna say, you know, like people listening who typically drink alcohol, you know, a lot of times they'll do it because they're looking for something, again, for that social piece of it, to relax. What's cool about Kava now, it's really growing in the United States. So again, depending on what state you're in, you might have a Kava bar close by. So Florida is kind of the mecca right now of Kava bars.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. Arizona, Colorado, and then South Carolina are probably the next states that have the most, but they're growing, right? Now Kava bars, when you go there, it's really cool because it's like going to a bar, but there's no like craziness. It's super chill.
So
Everyone's
chill.
like
such a happy, good vibe.
Totally different vibe. You know, people are drinking Kava, so they're relaxed. They're in a good mood.
Is that the best way to get Kava, or can I get it in my home?
Yeah.
So you can get, so there is, and people listening to, you can go to our Instagram. We have all of our reviews up of different Kava products. But Kava, you can get on Amazon. So that's when I talk to like the legality of it. Like it's something you can literally get on Amazon, have shipped to your house. There's a lot of good vendors on Amazon. Now, when you get it, like you have to prepare it. So depending on what kind of Kava you get, you have to put in what's like a strainer bag, and you put in water and you kind of knead it and soak it up, and it makes this like muddy drink. Or you can like Kava extract, and you can make like a mocktail with it. So there's a bit of barrier to entry just because there is some preparation with it, but it's really not that hard to start.
Anything I could just probably YouTube, probably.
Yeah. So you can go on our Instagram. It's Kava with a K, KAVA_kettlebells. So that's the name of our podcast and our Instagram. And we do reviews on so many products, and it's really huge in the market right now. These like seltzer beverages, which are flavored, they're sweetened, they taste good, and that's kind of again, because that barrier of entry is hard. So we kind of sometimes we'll recommend that to ease people into it, let them understand how it feels, and then you can kind of graduate to, you know, doing the medium grind. And we also show videos showing how to like knead it, or you can get like a almost like a filter ball and like shake it up. And yeah, it's also interesting because it has a reverse tolerance to alcohol. So with alcohol, if you haven't drank in a long time, you know, you hear the term lightweight, where you have like one beer or one drink and you already feel it. Kava is the opposite. So the more you drink it, then the lower your tolerance becomes. So for example, Charles and I drink it very regularly. So it only takes one, maybe two, they're called shells or glasses, and we can start feeling it. At first though, it might take a while. Like you might need to take 3 or 4 drinks. You might even need to do it for a couple days before you start to really feel the full effects. So it's another reason why people will have like 1 or 2 drinks and they're like, I'm not really feeling it. They don't really give it the full chance.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start trying it. So it's good to know that it takes like a little bit. That's awesome. Okay. Well, was there anything else? Like, what else? Is there anything else I want to know about Kava?
Yeah.
Like, can I travel with it? Okay, you know, like with alcohol, how you can get DUIs. What if I need to drive after drinking some?
Totally fine.
Yeah, most people are fine to drive from it. Like there's been some reports out there of people getting DWIs from Kava just because I
didn't know that.
Because I will say, if you drink a lot of Kava, you can get what's called getting muddy.
Yeah.
You'll feel it. Like you definitely feel the effects of Kava.
Okay.
And You know what I'm saying? So like some people, if they might drinking too much kava, it might not be a good idea to drive. But for the most part, like you're fine.
Yeah, and like one or two, and like you're fine. You'll feel relaxed, but you won't. Again, like you don't feel inebriated.
Yeah,
like you're still in your mindset. And again, if you've had too much, you might feel really tired, or you might feel what is called kava-fied, and you're like, oh, I feel that, and it would not be a good idea to drive. But you're
Probably
not
you're super relaxed, right? Like you're in, like, yeah, and it's not so much like you're just not there. With alcohol, like with DUIs, driving with alcohol, it's like that person's just not even there and they're driving.
Yeah, they're
yeah, and they like how many times have you heard of people who they don't even remember getting in the car, and like that happens. That's not how kava is. You'll remember. You're just gonna be like real tired, real relaxed, and so it probably wouldn't be a good idea to drive.
You probably know in that moment, like, I'm not gonna drive.
Exactly.
And yeah. You mentioned
that's really awesome. That's really awesome. So you already said that we could follow you on the podcast. Do you have anywhere else people can listen or follow you guys?
Yeah, so you can find us on any so like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so whatever platform you listen to. And then we have our Instagram, and then we just have our website as well. So any reviews we do, we put up on our website. We link to website, the product, and where you can find that product. And that is what is our website? I always forget.
It's just kavaandkettlebells.net.
Yeah, kavaandkettlebells.net.
Nice. Awesome. I thought of a question just now while you were talking. Oh, so can we talk about the relationship between fitness and drinking kava? Like how those could go hand in hand?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like if someone's on a strict diet, does kava affect that?
No. So I'm starting competition prep. I'm doing bodybuilding show in gym, and I'll be drinking kava throughout my prep.
And it actually has some metabolic benefits where, again, we were talking about with alcohol, like, just destroys your metabolism. So the way we use botanicals with our workouts are kava is best post-workout. It's great to, again, help your muscles recover, just help you relax, help your body relax. And I think as a personal trainer, recovery is so important. That's the most important. People always think that their muscles are growing when they're hammering them, and it's not. They're growing when you let them rest and recover. And so kava really is great at just helping your body relax and give it the time to recover. And then we do kratom before workout. So we like to do kratom with our pre-workout, and that just sort of gives you like that extra energy. It kind of sounds bad, but it sort of dulls the pain, so it allows you to push through it harder. But then you have to be careful because you don't want to push too hard and then feel super sore the next day. But it does it gives you that more energy, helps you focus, and helps you sort of push through that pain. So we like to do kratom pre-workout and then kava post-workout.
That's so interesting. That's so I'm excited to try that. Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today. Was there anything else that you'd like to add before we get off?
I want to just like give like a kind of like, because I know you're a kind of audience, I would just say like, alcohol is very detrimental to what you are trying to do. With a lot of people living healthy, and especially out to like the military listeners, the first responders, law enforcement, like it's not going to lead, it's going to compound onto the effects of the job, right? So you want to have a healthy mind, body to be able to perform your best, and also to be able to cope with the stressors of the unique type of jobs that come with these professions, right? So I would, I know some of it sounds kind of hippie, kind of wooey, like herbs and plants, and I understand.
But I guess I know some of my listeners might be like, oh, that hippie stuff, but I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly, my listeners that's why I like having this platform, because we're both in the military and we're badass and we get the alcohol, we get the party, but like this is another option. Right. This is a healthier, better option.
I just want people to like, look at kava as an option. It can replace alcohol. It can enhance your life. It's, gotten so many people off of alcohol once they found Kava, which once you cut alcohol out of your life, like you're going to flourish in a lot of ways. So give it, a try. It's not marijuana. It's not mushrooms, anything crazy. It's completely legal.
Which we're not saying anything bad about those either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Places for those.
There's places for those. And you could definitely reach out to us on Instagram as well. Like I said, Kava_kettlebells. We answer like all our messages. So if you have any more questions, definitely feel free to reach out. And we would love to talk to you about more. Again, we have all product reviews. So if you're interested in trying something, we have lots of product reviews on our Instagram to sort of get you started.
Awesome. You guys are awesome. I love what you're doing. And like, I feel like you're setting the groundwork for this. I feel like this should be huge. I feel like this is something that you guys
it's definitely
the groundwork for.
Growing in the United States, and I think it's only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
So we're excited to see where the movement goes from here.
Yeah, you guys are leading it. I'm here. I'm so excited for you. I'm rooting for you. Thank you guys so much. Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Thanks, guys. Bye.
This Sunday.
Sunday.